Welcome to Ouch. Was that a ghost? This podcast may contain graphic material, which some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Help me.
Now that we covered that, here's your host, Liss.
Welcome back to Ouch Was That a Ghost with Liss.
And your cousin Kate. I'm Southern all of a sudden, sorry.
I hear that.
That was weird. You want to do it again?
Nope, that's staying in.
Oh, man.
I get like that too, though. When I watch certain shows, I embody the character for a little bit. Not as bad as Lee does, but I do it a little.
Yeah, it's fun. So what do we got going on?
Today, I'm covering the S.K. Pierce Mansion, which is the place that hopefully you're going with me.
Great. I think we should start doing outings and stuff, related to all these places. This sounds so interesting.
Oh, definitely. Now that it's not as freezing cold, I just hate doing tours like in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
But now that it's nice out, we can go do it all.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a calendar like of the whole year festivals, 1 year we're just going to go to all those weird festivals and just see what it's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. There's ones like in New York, Everywhere. New Jersey, which really isn't that far. It's just a car ride.
When I'm done with school, we'll do a lot more.
And then we can venture further.
I have like one more year, so.
And then you're going to be Dr. Kate. Or Dr. Catherine?
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Catherine Johnson.
Address you as such. I hear it. Is there a haunted house that you're too afraid to go to? Like, have you heard of one that you're just like, no, I'm not going to go there?
No, like I would go to anyone that has like a legendary story. What I won't go to is one of those like Halloween haunted houses where the people come out and try to scare you. That to me is scarier than like anything. I don't want those people, chainsaws and all that. I can't go to any of those things. I can't even watch like a preview for a horror film because it will give me nightmares. But if it's just like I'm in this space, that doesn't scare me.
I remember Spooky World. They used to always have that thing. They'd have a haunted hayride, and they'd have like Jason and Michael Myers and everyone come over and try to drag you off.
Yes, yeah, I can't do that. Yeah. Mm-mm.
You never did Spooky World?
No, I hate it. I would never do it. It's torture to me.
Did you ever do Salem?
I've been to Salem and I've done like a walking tour, but it's different. It's not like. It's one thing, the historical information that what we're talking about is just like random people like that are going to try and get you and they're going to get you, but you don't know when they're going to get you. I'd rather a real ghost gets me.
You heard it here first.
Yep, that I can handle.
All right. Well, you committed, so you're going to go to this one with me. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear about it.
So S.K. Pierce was originally from Westminster. He was born Sylvester Noel Pierce in 1820. He started working at a furniture factory in, I'm trying not to say this how I want to say it. I want to say Gardner, but Gardner, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, that's the furniture capital.
Yeah. This is the same factory he'd go on to purchase when he's 25. He owned and operated the S.K. Pierce & Sons Furniture Company, and he quickly became one of the wealthiest men in the area.
Wow.
Gardner, by this time, the mid-1800s, earned the nickname Chair City, having 12 furniture companies, and they were called Chair City because they were making over 1 million chairs a year.
Wow.
And they actually have that 20-foot chair on Route 2.
Yeah.
Which isn't far.
I've seen it.
I showed that to my son, and he's like, and? I was like, it's cool. You can go and take a picture. He's like, okay, it's a chair.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, but it's a big chair.
Oh, I would love it. Yeah.
Right? I'd get on that.
I get excited about those things. Yeah, totally.
I remember on the fair when you and your friends would all hop up on the chair and pose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad someone else is pumped about
those. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm totally into it.
All right, so me and you are posing on the chair too. Got it.
Yeah. When we go out there, that's what we'll do that as part of the day.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, so we can totally do that.
I don't think there's too much out there, so I'm pretty sure that will be the only things we do.
Yeah, I don't think I've driven through, but I don't think I've ever like stopped there for anything that I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I don't really know either. I know it's on Route 2. I know that my mother grew up not too far from there in a place called Orange.
So orange and chairs.
That's the end of the story.
So SK,
Yeah.
now 53 years old, he's a businessman and he needs, wealthy. He needed a house that reflects his status. So he made plans to build the Sylvester K. Pierce house or the SK Pierce mansion. Imagine that if you're like, okay, I'm going to build the Kate Johnson mansion.
Yes, I can imagine that. Soon as I get that doctorate, you never know.
So he was going to build it at 4 West Broadway Street in Gardner, which was right across the street from his first factory that he bought. So he bought the house that was there and he was like, I don't want this house. So he picked up the house and had it moved down the street so he could build his mansion. Imagine that.
I love it how they can do that.
You just like, get this out of here. Move it down a few houses.
Yeah. I'm always amazed that they can move houses. You ever see any of those shows where it's amazing.
That blows my mind.
It's amazing. Yeah, yeah.
But planning and construction started in 1873 and it was completed in 1875 with 100 men building the mansion. They used Second Empire architecture design or the Napoleon III design, which is basically like every single space is going to be decorated. Like every single, like the hinges were to be decorated, like every single part, like the Winchester Mystery House.
Decorated. Oh, but each section is decorated like to a different style, or it just means it's all decorated. Like it could be all the same.
It can be all the same, just a detail to everything, to every corner,
right. Okay.
Every nook, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 stories is what they call it, but it's actually 3 stories, and it has like a little what do you call it? Not a widow's walk, a widow's
peak. What's the thing called when it makes your hair goes like that?
It's a widow's peak.
I know what you're talking about. It's a lookout.
Widow's walk. You have to walk on top, but it's
where they look out for the fishermen who are coming.
But it's enclosed at the top.
Yeah, those are cool.
And it's breathtakingly gorgeous. It was almost 7,000 square feet. It had 4 fireplaces. Wow. It has 4 fireplaces, 21 rooms, 2 parlors, 4 bathrooms, 5 staircases, 2 pantries, and 2 water cisterns, which at this time to have running water in your house was like
big deal.
So ahead of its time. Nobody had that.
Wow.
And it had an ice chest, which I think is so funny. The Iceman would come and bring a big block in every week.
I think that's awesome. Yeah. But how many people were in his family? I mean, did he have a big family or it's just him?
Well, it was him, his wife, and after they move in, they have 1 son.
Oh, wow. Okay. So he gets to pick out of the bedrooms.
Yes. And the way it actually set up, I didn't put this in here, but it's like when he builds it, his bedroom is on the first floor and then he has a billiards room on top of it. Mm-hmm. So like he stacked his room. You know what I'm talking about? Like it was like his side, his corner of the house was his and her corner was hers.
Oh,
like she had her parlor and her bedroom and he had his, which is so funny.
Smart.
His parlor was like all masculine and hers was, well, I don't know if, you know what I mean? Like hers was more florally and lighter and his was real dark and woody.
Yeah, his was like man cave stuff.
Yeah, but
they had video games in there and everything. A bar. They had that thing that's like a wooden like thing where it's a cup in a wooden bowl and you have to like.
Yep.
They had all kind of crazy shit.
It was nuts.
Yeah. Got out of control.
They had speaking tubes through the house.
Oh, nice.
Do you know what those are?
Yeah, because I did a tour of one of the Newport mansions and they explained it to us. And it is amazing that, it's almost like before anything, it's like they were already doing that. It's so cool.
Yeah, right? It's like
Yeah.
2 tin cans and then like the string in between when you're in one room to another, just like talking, which is so funny.
Well, they're so far apart. I mean, if they're gonna, they have to call to each other that's a big space, 7,000 square feet.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And they also had a tower with a spiral staircase leading up to it, which was on the 4th floor.
Perfect.
They had 10 bedrooms, 11-foot tall cathedral ceilings. It's just like such attention to detail if you see the ceilings. Well, you're going to see them because you already committed.
Yes.
It's like beyond elaborate.
I'm concerned that there are only 4 bathrooms in this place, though.
I'm shocked that there are. Usually the old mansions, they'd be like, and 1 bathroom. Even the Winchester Mystery House, she was like 1 shower.
I know.
For like 500 rooms. Which was so bizarre.
Yeah.
But the servants' quarters were as detailed as S.K. Pierce's bedroom, which is crazy. And like I said, it had running water. It had gas lights in every room, which nobody had that.
Yeah.
It was like state of the art. And what's really cool is he had a tunnel built from the house to the factory across the street.
Oh, nice.
It's caved in now, which sucks because I wish that they left it open, but the town caved it in.
Yeah.
And the mansion was a known Freemasons meeting house. So there's lions above all the doorways.
Oh, cool.
And they hosted many prominent figures, including Calvin Coolidge, Minnesota Fats, who I didn't know who that was. I had to look that up. He's a famous pool player and a hustler.
Oh, that's why the guy was into like billiards and stuff. So
yeah, Betty Davis, P.T. Barnum, and there's actually one of the 3 Fiji mermaids from the Barnum and Bailey Circus. And you're thinking mermaid, oh, beautiful. This thing is hideous. It has an ape head, human hair. It's terrifying, but I want to see it so bad.
Okay.
And it's said that Norman Rockwell painted on the 3rd floor.
Oh.
Finally completed, the family was ready to move in. So Sylvester, S.K. Pierce. Should I call him S.K. or Sylvester?
I mean, I like Sylvester. It's a cool name. You don't hear that very often.
Okay, Sylvester, Sly.
Yeah, Sly.
Susan, his wife, and their son, Frank. And they had a few weeks together in the home as a family. Oh, Frank was born before they moved in. Did I say he was born there?
I don't know. You just said that. Yeah, you said they moved there and then they had a kid, but that's okay.
I lied.
Yeah. He needed to be old enough to pick his bedroom anyway, so it worked out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they only had a few weeks in the home together as a family because Susan died from a flesh-eating bacterial infection.
No! What? A flesh-eating bacteria? So is it contagious?
No one else in the family got it, so I'm guessing not.
Oh my God.
That's a terrible way to go.
I wonder if those things, they probably do still exist, but they don't call them that anymore.
Well, wouldn't Mercer be that?
Yeah, stuff like that. They just cloaked it in it with some other letters. But it's like, ugh. Oh my God. So she died right away?
Yeah.
How awful.
She had 2 weeks in there. That's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
So after a year of mourning, Sylvester married Ellen Pierce, who was 30 years younger, which made her the same age as his son Frank,
creepy,
who was not too happy about it.
Yeah.
And he went on to have 2 more children with Ellen.
Okay.
And the huge house, they always had at least 70, at least 20 servants in the house at a time, so they could rotate like who was working. And while no one incident sparked the activity in the house, there's a lot of confirmed deaths and rumored deaths that may have fed into it. One story goes that one of the servants, a 16-year-old girl named Susan, became pregnant by someone of stature in the house, and then she just disappeared, never to be heard from again.
Oh, God.
Sylvester ended up passing away in 1888 at 68 years old, leaving behind his widow and his 3 sons. He left everything to his widow, Ellen. And Frank, the eldest son, was not happy about this because at this time, women shouldn't own anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he must have been pissed.
Yeah, so he actually sued Ellen for the factory, the house, and for custody of his 2 half-brothers.
Wow. He wanted the brothers?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing.
Right?
Were they teenagers?
I don't know why. Send him away. Boarding school.
I wouldn't have wanted those. Yeah, totally. Did he win?
No, he lost
Oh, well.
in Worcester Court.
Yeah.
Ellen got cancer and only lived for 3 years after losing her husband. After her passing, all the boys thought that they should have the mansion and the furniture company, and the relationship with the siblings just went sour. Like everyone just fought.
Oh, geez.
Until the 2 elder Pierce brothers just moved away and left Edward, the youngest, the mansion. Even though Edward gained control, tragedy still followed him. His daughter, Rachel, passed away of a bacterial infection at only 2 years of age in 1960.
In the house?
Yes.
Oh, geez. Somebody's going to have to sterilize this place. You know what I mean? How much bacteria is like kicking around in there? That's scary.
I wonder how, this is a weird question, but I wonder the water cistern, because you're collecting rainwater, so you're not actually filtering it, are you?
You're asking the total wrong person this question. I think it's interesting that you even know the word cistern, which is I'm going to add to my vocabulary list.
Along with cryptid.
You. Yes, cistern, the cryptid cistern.
So the Great Depression started and business was bad, so the factory just had to shut down for years in the 20s and 30s. Not being able to afford keeping up with the house because there was no money coming in from the factory, the mansion opened its doors as a bed and breakfast until 1951.
Oh.
And there's a story of a prostitute being strangled in what they called the red bedroom. But that might just be a story. Some say it never happened, but it's listed on the website for tours, so I thought I'd throw it in, but I never found any actual evidence of it.
Now, is Edward still in the house, or is he gone by now?
He's still in the house.
Is he running the inn?
Yes.
Okay.
And a boarder, this is a confirmed death, Eno Sario, who was a World War II vet and a mechanic. Like I said, he was a boarder. He was staying at the master bedroom, and tragically, he burned to death there on April 9th, 1963. But strangely, the walls, the floors, the curtains never caught fire.
Wow.
It was like just contained to where he was on the bed. And by the time the fire department got there, the fire was completely out. So some articles theorize it was a case of spontaneous combustion.
Wow. For the guy? Just combusted?
Yeah. That actually is a strange phenomenon. It can happen. I don't think that's what this was, because he was a mechanic and he liked to drink and smoke, and he could have been working with some accelerants at work. And he might have just fallen asleep with a cigarette. And
yeah, definitely he fell asleep with a cigarette in the bed or something. But tell me more about this combustion. Because
I'm going to cover that actually one day.
Oh my God,
so I don't want to tell you too much.
Right.
There's some actual cases.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll cover it. We'll cover it. We'll get it.
Oh my God.
But it's also said a young boy drowned down the street in a pond, and somehow his spirit is in the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Like he just got drawn to the mansion. After the Depression, the family lost the factory, and Edward opened the house as a boarding house. So it went from a bed and breakfast to a boarding house until 1969. It was called the Victorian. And to this day, they still have numbers on the bedroom doors that like were rented out, until he had to sell the house in the 1960s. I think it was 1965. To a man named Jay Stimmerman, and this was the first time that the mansion was outside of the family. Edward was invited to continue living there until his death. The house was made and upkept with such care, was now in desperate need of repair, so Jay Stimmerman just boarded it up and left.
Oh, really?
He just went home to his home state and left the house vacant for years.
I wonder why he bought it.
I know, that's such a bizarre thing to do, like buy it, let the guy live there, and then just shut it all down and leave.
I know. What's his angle? What's his motivation?
Don't know. But there's like no proof on this, but I've seen a lot of like psychics that go there that say that he was not a very nice man and he had a lot of stuff going on, but they wouldn't talk about anything that they felt.
The guy that bought the house was not a nice man, or Edward?
Jay Stimmerman, that he was like a shady guy, but they wouldn't really get into like what.
Okay, so maybe he just used the house for like,
yeah,
crazy activities in secret while it was boarded up.
Yeah. It remained empty until a Worcester DJ named Mark and his wife Suzanne purchased the house in the year 2000 for $155,000.
Oh my God, that's
What
it?
a bargain.
And they set up their DJ station. What you want? And they started scratching.
But he was very open about the paranormal happenings that they witnessed. They'd hear bangs, and their daughter reported seeing an apparition. And as they were walking around the house, randomly, they would just start feeling drunk.
Oh, that's awesome. I would love to do that.
No negative effects.
Because I can't drink anymore, so I'll just go. Yeah, I'll just go. It's not my fault.
They invited the show Ghost Hunters in.
Oh, yeah.
And family lived there until 2007. Fast forward to 2008, Edwin Gonzalez and Lillian Otero purchased the mansion for $180,000. I still can't believe that they're selling it this cheap. And they thought they found their dream home. They lived there for only 2 years, from 2009 to 2011. But the ghost tormented the couple during this time. One day, Edwin was in his office working from home, and he saw this apparition of a man just rise up out of the floor, and he looked at him, and then he just went back down and left.
Wow, that must be the bacterial infection.
But then he went, I guess, across the street to like the pizza shop, and he was like, the pizza shop owner who was friends with him was like, oh, this man just died here about 15 minutes ago, and he described him, and he was like, that was the same man I just saw in my office.
Oh, wow. So maybe it just sucks things towards it, like you said with the kid from earlier.
Yeah, how bizarre is that?
It sucks the dead people and the bacteria from the air into it.
And the bacteria.
Yeah.
And this couple again reached out to ghost hunters who came out to do the investigation. There was a morning where Lillian woke up and she had this compulsion to go shower and then to go dig in the basement. So she did just that. She took her shower. She went down digging in a kiln.
I would have dug first and then take the shower.
Right?
It's kind of weird.
But she ended up finding a bone, and her husband, who had a doctor's appointment that day anyways, brought the bone to the doctor, who told him...
I love this. He had a doctor's appointment that day anyway. Well, since you have a doctor's appointment, do you want to take this bone? I just so happen to dig it. Like, what are the chances? That's unbelievable.
But the doctor told him it was a pelvic bone of a 16-year-old female.
Oh.
The bone was turned over to authorities, but nothing's known of it. Like the house, what do you call it? Not curator.
Could be.
The person that's in charge, that's running. Is it a curator?
I don't know.
Who runs the house?
Cistern? I know, a cryptid. Cryptid cistern.
The cryptid cistern heard nothing else about the bone.
When are these DJ people going to have a party in that house? We go get drunk by just walking down the hallway.
Well, there's no reported deaths of anyone in the house, of any 16-year-old females. This may have matched up with that rumor before about the maid that just went missing after becoming pregnant.
Oh,
in the
right.
basement, shadow figures are seen. And the neighbors came by the house one day and knocked on the door, and they were like, oh, how many kids do you have? My son wants to play with your son. And the owner was like, yeah, I have no kids. And they were like, well, who's the little blonde boy always in your window waving to us? And the neighbor on the other side said he saw the same thing, that this little boy would go from one side of the house to the other in like a second.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
And there was a night where Lillian laid down to go to sleep for the night in their bedroom where, Sario room was, the possible spontaneous combustion. Mm-hmm. And she described how she was paralyzed and she just started screaming for Edwin, get off me. And Edwin pulled the covers and somehow she was released. Soon after, Edwin reports seeing a floating female apparition of a lady in white crying by the window in their bedroom.
Wow.
And they just reached the breaking point and they were like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. So they just packed up a few things and left the next day.
Shit.
Edwin described how while he was in the house, his mood was affected and he'd have this compulsion, like this anger to fix this house.
Mm. Did he fix it?
And then
I wish
He
I
was
had
doing
that.
a lot of repairs to the house.
Does that mean you don't have to hire anybody to fix your stuff?
Just have S.K. Pierce haunting the house, being like, fix it.
Yeah.
But S.K. Pierce is seen throughout the house. And Miriam, who's the upkeeper, I can't think of the word of this. It's not a curator. It's not an upkeeper. It's a...
Nocturnal.
The woman in charge of the house, she reported
Yeah.
seeing S.K. Pierce's head just like floating through the room.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Although they left in 2011, the couple still owned the property for 4 more years up until 2015 when they put it on the market. Originally for $329,000, it dropped to $315,000 and it sold within 2 weeks to the current owners, who are Rob and Allison Conti, who Rob was quoted saying, "I didn't really come in believing in ghosts, but the minute I walked into the house, I was overwhelmed and had to excuse myself to get a piece of candy because I thought I was going to pass out."
Is he diabetic?
Maybe he just wanted some gummy bears.
Why did he eat candy? What kind of candy is it? Snow caps?
That's like one of the worst candies.
Well, it's the worst, but the best.
You like snow
Yeah,
caps?
only at the movies. You know, I understand that they're subpar quality, but they have a nostalgia factor for me, so I love them when I go to the movies.
Haribo all the way.
No.
Popcorn or Haribo. That's
I don't
it.
like gummy consistency. I never have. My sister's big into gummies, and my kids too, but not me.
That is my favorite. I don't care if I ever have chocolate again, as long as I can have gummy candy.
Oh my God, we're total opposites.
Sour gummy candy, I'm in my glory. That was my favorite.
Well, you know why I don't like gummy candy? Because I got a gummy worm stuck in my throat when I was like in the 4th grade.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, like, remember the worm? They still have the worms, but I think I didn't chew it fully, and like part of it was like lodged in my throat, and I could feel it there for like a week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's why I don't like gummy.
I'm very off topic, but do you remember when we were kids and there was the penny candy store and we used to go in there? And
oh my God, yes.
Everything was a penny.
It's so good. And you got the tray. You can like put stuff on the little tray. Oh, I dream about that. So good. And I had those saucers that was like basically like styrofoam, but I loved them. And I liked the dip sticks or something. That was the one I liked. It was so good.
I love the rope that was up by the register.
Oh yeah.
The red vines.
Those are nice. But did you hear that like that was like they were running some kind of drug deal out the back of that place?
Is that how we got to get penny candy?
I think so.
Because that was so cheap. You could go in there with $1 and you were like a millionaire. 100 pieces of candy. Like, that was crazy.
They were trying to make a cover, I think, for some. That's the rumor I heard.
That's fine. Throw another one in.
I love that place, too. So good. I mean, I see now they'll have, like, old-fashioned candy places, you know.
It's so expensive.
But it's not a penny.
No.
It's like, oh, my God, you got to weigh it. It's like $85 for, like, a bag of candy.
Sorry. I was just in the candy zone.
Yeah, you want some candy now.
I do. That's all I want is gummy everything.
Ugh. All right, so the guy got the candy.
So the
diabetic was
he paid more than a penny for it, but he was a periodontist, but he also owned a traveling haunted circus, and he always wanted to own a haunted house since he was 18. So when this went on the market, they just like snatched it up.
This guy is a periodontist. What is some kind of a dentist, and he's eating candy?
Yep. That's what's stressing you out on this story.
Yeah. What a strange guy. And what did he owned a circus of what?
Like a haunted traveling circus.
What does that mean?
I'm guessing just like a haunted house that just travels around.
This guy is really interesting. It's too bad he has diabetes. That is a tough disease, not to laugh about it because it's a terrible disease. Yeah.
Hundreds, if not more, paranormal investigators have gone to this house. The 3rd floor and a room on the 2nd floor seems to be both pretty big hotspots for activity. On the 2nd floor, the one with the closet was where Mr. Pierce used to have his billiards room, and that's where he would entertain prominent people. And the room is now called the rape room.
Oh, God.
Because all the psychics that go there hear a lot of screaming and disembodied voices crying out for help. And they think that if something did happen to the women, that...
It was there.
Yeah. And the curator, I wrote it down. It is curator.
You said curator earlier.
I did. I still don't think that's the right word, though.
Homesteader?
That's not the word I want. There's another word.
Proprietor? DJ?
Well, her name's Miriam. We're calling her. She said there's 11 spirits that the house has that they're aware of, and they have photo and video evidence of some of the entities in the home, including S.K. Pierce himself, Susan Pierce, Edward Pierce, as well as a nanny named Maddie Cornwell, who really cared about that house, and she's supposed to be seen a lot. A gentleman named David, who some believe may have been the Red Room Strangler, but there's no, like, paper trail on him. But a lot of psychics pick up that name. And the prostitute who may have been murdered in the Red Room. Is prostitute? That's offensive now. Huh?
I guess you would call,
sex worker?
I don't know if it's offensive, but you said it. So
Rachel, the 2-year-old little girl, is seen, and Gordon, which was the name of the little boy that drowned down the street, is seen a lot. Inosario is smelt throughout the place a lot. You can get this like musty, smoky smell or cigarette smell. And guests leave offerings to him. So when we go, there'll be like a little tray with like nips and cigarettes. And some people even leave him electric cigarettes so he can't, I guess, burn in the afterlife.
Yeah.
And there's some unnamed dark entities in the basement. There's knocking, door slamming, shadow people. You can get your clothing tugged. People have been pushed. Rocks have been thrown at people.
Wow. And you want me to go here?
Yes. You already said you would. You can hear women talking. Staff have reported seeing floating heads. Name it, this house has it. The owners now offer tours and overnight stays so you can try and see the spooky. To even enter this Victorian mansion, you need to sign a waiver. And from their website, this cracked me up. Quote, the use of Ouija boards and or attempts at cleansing the house are not permitted. So do not try to cleanse the house.
Oh, wow.
The house has been cited as the number 2 most haunted house in Massachusetts and the 9th most haunted house in the USA. And I forgot to look up the number 1 house in Massachusetts before you ask.
Well, no, I was actually thinking about, the fact that you can't, like, clean it. And it has all that flesh-eating bacteria in there.
I think it's, like, cleansed spiritually.
Oh, spiritual cleaning. Oh, okay. I'm thinking about the bacteria myself, and I'm not, like, a germaphobe. But since you've told me 2, not 1, but 2 people were killed by a flesh-eating bacteria in that place, I'm probably going to wear...
Purell?
I'm probably going to wear, no, like a full-on, like, covered from head to toe.
A hazmat suit?
Yeah,
Did you ever see that episode, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when Danny DeVito was just covered in Purell and he just came out of the couch completely naked?
No, but I want to. I just saw a super funny... old movie with Danny DeVito in it, and he's so good. I want to watch like all his movies now again.
Every time someone's like, "Oh, they should do a remake," but who could play this? No matter what the movie is, if you say Danny DeVito, the movie works.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Wow. So how much does it cost to go in?
I think it's 26 or 27.
And do they give you like a tour?
Yeah, they give you an hour tour, and then you get a half an hour to walk around and take pictures and just kind of explore.
Huh. Well, I mean, do you think that there'll be other people on the tour with us?
Well, I know if you really are willing to go, it's going to be at least 3 on my end. Plus you would be 4, but I think they have 11 or 12 spots per tour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going.
Okay.
I mean, I just have to be prepared. You know what I mean? I got to bring my candy to give it to bribe the guy at the door.
I was going to bring a nip or a cigarette to leave for,
yeah,
in his room.
Well, I always feel like that's kind of like bad, like somebody died from smoking or drinking or whatever, and then like at their grave you like bring them this you bring them more of the item. Like I just feel like that's sort of bad.
I don't know.
Like he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it, but it's just for my protection. Because like when I do the Lizzie Borden house, when you go in and Mr. Borden, I leave him pennies or money because then he won't bother you.
No, that makes sense actually.
And when you're in there, you can't say the word cheap or else you might get like pushed or tugged by him. Like he does not like that word. Like whatever the rules are of the house, I always follow them.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably follow the rules too. I'm going to bring, my DJ set.
Should. DJ Hero. That was the best game. Then they just stopped making it.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Guitar Hero is fun, but it's not as good as DJ Hero.
I really like Guitar Hero. I didn't own it, but I remember like wanting to go to people's houses that had it,
So fun. But yeah, you're committed, so you have to go to this now. So
yeah, I'm just thinking like if a rock hits me or I see a floating head, what's the
just
protocol
eat that candy.
there? Like, are we
eat that candy?
Pop the candy in, and I mean, yes. I'm excited to go to see if something happens, but I mean, I also don't want to get injured.
Well, we're going to be in a group, so
those people can't protect us.
No, but we're not going for the overnight either. The day tours don't really
have as much action.
Yeah, I feel like when the house is quiet, if something's going to happen. But there's been activity when there's big groups, so we might get something.
Oh my God. I don't have a nightmare tonight.
You'll just dream of a head with some candy.
Yeah, I know. Floating head. eating a candy.
With some DJ music in the back. Boom,
yeah. Boom. I'm like, yes, it's a party. Let's get drunk.
But if you see this house, it's unbelievable. Okay. Even the kitchen, like the ceiling has like mirrors on it. The chandeliers there. They have some actual, I think they have one of the original lights that's gaslit that they show you. But I mean, obviously some of it has been updated. But a lot of the rooms, I don't know how true this is because this is in some articles, but the room numbers are odd. And it's supposed to have something to do with the Freemasons.
Oh, okay.
And the way that like certain things are set up in the house is because of the Freemasons is what some articles said. But I don't know if it's true or not. So,
well, that's a whole nother thing is like the Freemasons and like that whole, story of like maybe the people that built it, had something to do with the fact that it turned out to be like a haunted because, they had like their secret society.
Maybe. It's just weird because there were deaths there, but no like huge tragic thing unless the murders for the prostitutes in that room was actually true. And that's what brought the dark energy there.
Well, I think that combustible man was pretty much a big deal.
A lot of the articles said he was not a very nice person. Like he didn't have a very nice
he still
demeanor.
Didn't deserve to be combusted.
No, he definitely didn't. But I'm saying like if you were just like not a happy person and then you went out like that and now you have just this pissed off ghost running around the house.
Yeah. Telling you to fix things. Hammer that in. Sweep the floor. Hurry up. We got to get to the party. I got a DJ gig tonight.
But yeah, we'll definitely post some pictures of the tour. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I do really want to go. I wonder if they let you film or not.
Yeah, you can.
I bet you they don't.
You can film.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of them, a lot of the old houses, you can't use flashes, but here they don't care. You can use flash, video, everything.
Okay, great. I mean, because I think that would be cool. Then we can look at it after because, we might miss something.
Yeah, that's the fun part when you go home in the middle of the night, look at all the pictures and see if you see any faces or shadows.
Well, I'm not going to do it at nighttime, but
it's more fun.
Your idea of fun is different. My idea of fun is walking in the graveyard.
My idea is fun as the penny candy store.
Yeah, is the Haribo gummy bears that you can get lodged in your throat. Oh my God.
The snakes are good, the red and white ones.
You know what? I used to like the fake cigarettes too. And then it's so funny to think that like they had those, I mean, they still have them. You can find them, but like, that's so bad,
Yeah, we were all sitting around the park like, yeah,
I know.
Just having
Look
a cigarette.
Yeah. Like my dream.
you got 2 good like blows of puff out of it when you blow forward, but then the thing would be dead, so then you just eat it because it was always gum.
It
was like really
gum,
powdery, yucky gum. But
yes,
it was still cool.
yucky. I know it. But I remember like loving to hold it. And then they had the other ones, the stick ones that didn't do anything. They were just like the white stick with the little red at the end. That was like in an actual pack.
Yep.
Like
they look like Lucky Strikes almost, but
yes, I was just gonna say it was lucky. It was Lucky Strikes.
Oh, that's what they were called.
I think so.
That's so bad.
I do.
Oh my god.
I know. I think it was really bad. But it was like you felt like so bad and good that you could smoke it, even though you were eating candy.
We're so cool.
Well, I think we should, because of how we're talking, before we go to this Sylvester Stallone's place, I think we should bring some candy, old-fashioned candy with us to have in the car.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be fun. You don't think it's good?
No, I think it's a good idea. When I think of old-fashioned, I think like Bullseye or Mary Jane, but Mary Jane's a gross.
Totally. Any of those are good.
I like the Bullseye ones, actually.
I love those. Those are like so good. I like all old candy. My kids always make fun of me. I really like Werther's too.
You do?
Oh, I love those.
They're so strong. I can do them once in a while, but they're really, really strong.
Like it's too sugary?
Yeah. Or too caramelly or something. Like something's wrong. It shouldn't be hard and that sweet and that, I don't know.
Well, it works well for me.
Okay.
So you could keep going with your gummies.
That's fine by me.
We covered a lot. This. I mean, the place sounds like just has so many different stories because it's like all different things, but they don't seem to have a common denominator except for that they all happen in this house. But it's not like, everybody sees the same thing or gets the same thing happens to everybody. So that makes it kind of, wild card.
Yeah. And even if nothing happens, just to see this old care put into houses, I get so excited about old buildings. It's so stupid, but I love it. I love seeing like the sconces.
Oh, yeah. It's not stupid. It's interesting. I love it too.
Just the care that they put into it.
Oh, yeah.
Dumbwaiters. Like how excited you get when you see a dumbwaiter.
Super excited. Yeah. It's amazing. It's like a pulley system, it's awesome. I don't even know how it works. Like that's probably as advanced as I technologically could ever be. Would be if I had to build something, I could probably build that. That would be the peak of my technological prowess. I'm that book that's called How Things Work. It's like a kid's book, but it shows you drawings of like everything from like how a lock works to like how a steam engine works, and they have all these drawings and they like explain it to you.
I don't.
Anyway, I've been reading that, and I'm only on inclined plane, and I'm like already like I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing one page at a time. It's literally inclined plane. That's what I'm learning. I'm at that level.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll keep you posted.
I can't
like
wait.
The last thing is like a computer, you know what I mean? But the first, you got to learn it from the beginning. So you learn about pulleys and all that stuff. And so I'm doing inclined plane until I really get the hang of it, and then I'll move on.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I texted you the date.
Okay.
And it's either 1 p.m. or 3 p.m.
Okay.
I don't know, whatever works for everybody, because I'm trying to make it a whole thing happen.
Okay. As long as I don't have school on the weekends next semester, so I should be good.
Okay. And don't forget big chair.
Oh, I would never forget that. But don't be weirded out when I show up with like a full covered, outfit.
You'll look like Monsters Inc. when they go in to clean them.
And then, but I'll have different pockets with candies in them.
Perfect.
Yes, that will be fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Kate, and I'm so excited about this.
Yes, me too. It has a big outing, and then we can record something. Yeah,
we're definitely we can make some TikToks and stuff when we're there if you want.
Well, if you know how to. I mean, I don't know how to do that.
I know the bare minimum.
You figured this out, so I think you'll probably be able to get it.
I don't know how. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. If you need more content or just want to help support the podcast, head on over to patreon.com and search Ouch, Was That a Ghost? If you need some snazzy merch, you can find it at crowdmade.com by searching Ouch, Was That a Ghost? If you have a story you'd like to share, you can email it to ouchwasthataghost@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and all the other social media platforms under Ouch, Was That a Ghost?
Help me.
All links can also be found on ouchwasthataghost.com.